Pleasant day, children. Today we are going to have a lovely session on the lesson solids, liquids and gases. Let's see what does the warm-up session have in store for us. Observe at least 5 objects in your surroundings and fill in the table. One has been done for you. Now, this is the object, whether it is in solid, liquid or gas state. This is because it has a fixed shape. Now, whereas it's a pencil, it is solid. Now, solid has a fixed shape. Now, the rest of the things, I want you to put your thinking caps on and jot it down. Okay. I know that you will be doing a good job on it because you can see so many things in your surroundings, isn't it? Very good. Now, let's move ahead. What are we going to understand in this lesson? The lesson is going to be about understand what the matter is made up of, identify the different states of matter, examine that the matter exists in solid, liquid and gaseous states, analyze changing states of matter, describe solute, solvent and solution. Okay, so are we good to go? Great. Let's see what's over here. Hey Saurabh, when we walk under the sun, our shadow is formed. Do you think shadow is matter too? No, Ria. Shadow is not matter as it doesn't occupy space and has no mass. Now let's see what's matter. Look around yourself. You may find things like books, pens, tables, windows, glasses, water bottles and boxes. Living and non-living things around us are matter. We human beings are matter too. Goodness me! Can you imagine and can you believe that human beings are matter too? Matter is anything and everything that occupies space and has mass. What is matter made up of? Matter is composed of tiny particles. It is because of these tiny particles that matter has mass and occupies space. These tiny particles are known as molecules. Molecules are made up of even smaller particles called atoms. Different types of matter have different types of molecules. Matter exists in 3 states: solids, liquids and gases. However, molecules in solids, liquids and gases are packed differently. Hence, they have different properties. Now coming to states of matter, that is solid. In solids, molecules are arranged very close to one another such that it prevents their movement. Here, molecules are arranged in a regular pattern. Solids can be seen and felt. Now fact is, some solids such as sponges can change shape when force is applied. Let's go further. Properties of solid. Now what are the properties of solid? They have a fixed shape. They also have fixed volume. They cannot be compressed. Now what is the meaning of compressed? Compressed means pressed tightly. Did you see that? Okay, now what are the examples of solid? This is a briefcase, or you can say a laptop bag. This is a cup. This is a winner's cup trophy as such. And the example, these are, okay, this is about the solids. Now, let us go to the liquids. In liquids, molecules are loosely packed, thus are not arranged in a regular pattern. Also, molecules in liquids can move freely as compared to molecules in solids. Therefore, a liquid can be poured from one container to another. That is also why a liquid can flow. What are the properties of liquids? They have no definite shape. They have no definite volume. They can be compressed slightly. These are the examples of liquids. Can you see? These are all in liquid form here. Now let us move further to the gases. We learned about solids. We finished the liquids. Now we are going to go to gases. Gases do not have a fixed shape and volume. Molecules in gases are very loosely packed. They can occupy all the available space of the container they are present in. Air is a gas. Steam that comes out of hot tea is a gas. Smoke is also a gas. Can you imagine that? properties of gases. They have no definite shape, they have no definite volume, they can be compressed. What are the examples of objects filled with gases? That's the wheel of the bus or the car or the bike or anything, or even the cycle. You can, I remember my son saying, Mummy, I want to fill air in my tire. So, everything to move needs air, and even the balloons, who doesn't like to play with balloons, don't we? So how do you blow a balloon? With your lips or with a pump. When you're doing that, what are you putting in? Gas. That's how it becomes big, isn't it? So these are the two examples of objects filled with gases. Now let's go quickly to the fact is, the forces of attraction between the molecules of the gas are weak. We are able to guess the smell of food item by its smell. How? Explain this in terms of molecules. Now I want you to think about it. Now let's see to the arrangement of molecules in the different states of matter. This is how it is in solid. This is how it is in solid. This is how it is in liquid. And this is how it is in gas. See, the molecules are close. Here there is a slight bit of movement, you can say, loosely packed. Here the molecules are very, very loosely packed. Okay, they are very, very loose. Okay, understood. Now let's go to the change in states of matter. My chocolate has melted, I want to eat it. I have an idea. Let us keep it in the freezer. After some time, there you go. The chocolate has changed from melted state to a frozen state. Wow! What do you do now about this? You also take a chocolate, keep it for some time out. I know you'll be tempted to eat it, but don't eat it. Then what do? Let it melt. Then go and keep it in the freezer. Then it will become, it will freeze, it will become hard. Then you will nicely sit alone and munch your lovely chocolate. Okay, children? Okay, let's go further. How do you think that the chocolate change back to its frozen state? When things are heated or cooled, they may undergo some changes. You have studied that matter exists in three different states, that is the solids, liquids and gases. Any of these states of matter, when they undergo heating or cooling, can change their form. A solid may change into a liquid upon heating. This is a solid chocolate, and when it's heated, it becomes melted chocolate. Likewise, a liquid can change into solid upon cooling. Take water, keep it in the freezer, there you go, you get ice. A solid starts to melt when it gains heat. Wow, so this is the ice candy talking. I think it's a green ice lolly, isn't it? Go quickly to the shop, tell mom, I just want to have some ice lolly today. Okay, now melting. The process in which a solid changes to liquid is known as melting. When a chocolate is kept in a warm room or under the sun, it melts, isn't it? For example, ice cubes, when kept at normal room temperature, they will start to melt. Then we go to freezing. The process in which a liquid changes into solid is known as solidification. Solidification of liquids takes place when they are exposed to freezing. For example, when we pour water into ice trays and keep it in the freezer, we can see that the water changes into ice after some time. Therefore, freezing is the reverse of melting. When liquids start losing heat, the process of freezing begins. From freezing, we go to evaporation. The process in which the liquid changes into vapor on heating is known as evaporation. For example, when water is heated, we can see vapor coming out of it. This happens due to the evaporation of water. Let us move further. We finished with melting, we finished with freezing, we finished with evaporation. Now we are going to go to condensation. The process in which a gas changes into liquid on cooling is known as condensation. For example, when we keep a plate over a pan of hot water, We can see the formation of water droplets on the surface of that plate. Solute, solvent and solution. We are going to learn about this now. Adil's mother is giving him milk. However, she is yet to add sugar into it. Adil has a spoonful of sugar in his milk. Instead of sugar cubes, she adds powdered sugar in the milk. He gulped the milk quickly. It was tasty. Why do you think sugar cubes take longer to dissolve than the powdered sugar? A solution is a mixture in which a substance dissolves in another at a particular temperature. The substance that dissolves is known as solute. In this case, sugar was a solute. The substance which the solute dissolves is known as the solvent. In the previous example, milk was a solvent and sugar was a solute. Hence, solute plus solvent gives us solution. When we add salt to water, the water turns salty. In this case, dash is the solute, dash is the solvent, and salty water is the dash. Now, I want you to think and fill in over here. Okay, substances that form solution when they are mixed with a particular liquid solvent are called soluble substances. For example, sugar in water. Substances that do not form solutions when they are mixed with particular liquid solvent are called insoluble substances. For example, sand in water. Does sand mix in water? Definitely not. Let's go further. Oh my goodness, we have come to the summary. We are going to wind up the lesson. Anything that occupies space and has mass is known as matter. Matter is made up of tiny particles known as molecules. Solids, liquids and gases are the three different states of matter. Arrangement of molecules in solids, liquids and gases vary. States of matter, when they undergo heating or cooling, can change their forms. A solution is a mixture in which a solute dissolves in a solvent at a particular temperature. Children, I hope you had a lovely time. I had a lovely time explaining to you about solids, liquids and gases. I guess you are become intelligent now, and if anybody asks you anything about solids, liquids and gases, you have the answer, isn't it? So have a nice day. See you soon for the next lesson. Thank you.